Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real, something people don't always say out loud. When a man truly knows your worth, you won't have to question where you stand in his life. You won't be sitting there, overthinking every message, wondering why he's distant or trying to decode mixed signals like it's some kind of puzzle. No. When he knows your value, his actions become clear, consistent, and undeniable. Consistent effort is something you don't have to chase, question, or beg for. When a man truly understands your worth, showing up for you becomes natural to him. It's not forced, it's not occasional, and it's definitely not dependent on his mood. You don't get attention only when it's convenient for him, and you're not left wondering why he was so present yesterday but distant today. His behavior doesn't swing back and forth, leaving you emotionally exhausted. Instead, there is a steady presence that brings you a sense of calm rather than confusion. You'll notice it in the little things first. He checks on you, not because he has to, but because he wants to. He makes time for you, even when life gets busy, because he understands that people make time for what truly matters to them. You're not squeezed into the gaps of his schedule. You're part of his priorities, and that consistency builds trust because you start to realize that his words and actions actually match. There are no mixed signals. You're not analyzing his texts with your friends or replaying conversations in your head trying to figure out what he meant. His effort speaks clearly. When he says he'll call, he calls. When he makes plans, he follows through. When he expresses interest, he backs it up with action. That kind of consistency removes anxiety because you're no longer living in uncertainty. And here's the truth. Consistency is a choice. It's not about being perfect or never making mistakes. It's about showing up again and again in a way that reflects how much he values. A man who knows your worth doesn't disappear when things get slightly difficult or when the excitement phase settles down. He remains present because his connection to you is not based on temporary feelings, but on genuine appreciation. You won't feel like you're competing for his attention. You won't feel like you have to remind him of your importance. His effort makes it clear that you matter without you having to ask for reassurance every step of the way. And that's how you know the difference between someone who is just interested for the moment and someone who truly sees your value, because one brings inconsistency and confusion while the other brings stability, clarity, and peace in the way he shows up every single day without making you question your place in his life. Clear intentions and direct communication remove the guesswork that so many people get stuck in. When a man truly knows your worth, he doesn't hide behind vague words, delayed replies, or half-hearted conversations. He speaks with purpose. And more importantly, he speaks with honesty. You're not left trying to interpret silence or decode mixed messages. Because he makes it clear where you stand and what he wants, you'll feel the difference immediately. Instead of confusion, there is clarity. Instead of hesitation, there is direction. He doesn't keep you in a gray area where you're unsure whether he's serious or just passing time. If he wants you, he says it. If he sees a future, he expresses it. And if something is bothering him, he communicates it instead of withdrawing or creating distance. That level of openness shows emotional maturity and a deep respect for your time and feelings. Direct communication also means he listens just as much as he speaks. He pays attention to your thoughts, your concerns, and your needs. He doesn't dismiss them or make you feel like you're asking for too much. Instead, he creates a space where you feel heard and understood. And when misunderstandings happen, as they always do in any connection, he addresses them instead of avoiding them. He chooses conversation over silence, clarity over confusion. A man who knows your worth doesn't play mind games. He doesn't say one thing and do another. His words align with his actions, and that alignment builds trust over time. You're not constantly questioning his intentions or wondering if he means what he says. There's a sense of security in knowing that what he communicates is genuine, not just convenient in the moment. And here's something important. Clarity is a form of respect. When someone is direct with you, they're showing that they value your time enough not to waste it. They understand that you deserve honesty, even if it requires vulnerability or uncomfortable conversations. So instead of leaving you in the dark, they choose transparency. You won't feel like you are chasing answers or forcing conversations. You won't feel the need to overanalyze every word or action. His communication gives you peace of mind because it's consistent, intentional, and real, allowing you to feel secure in what you're building without second-guessing his feelings or his place in your life. Deep respect isn't something that only shows up when things are going well. It's something that remains steady in every situation. When a man truly knows your worth, the way he treats you reflects a level of care that goes beyond surface-level affection. It's not just about compliments or kind words in public. It's about how he values you in private moments, in disagreements, and in the everyday interactions that most people overlook. You'll notice it in how he speaks to you. There's no belittling, no sarcasm meant to hurt, no dismissive tone when you express yourself. Even when he disagrees, he chooses his words carefully because he understands that respect is not optional. It's foundational. He doesn't try to win arguments by putting you down. Instead, he seeks understanding. That kind of behavior shows emotional control and a genuine appreciation for who you are as a person. Respect also shows in how he speaks about you when you're not around. A man who values you doesn't entertain conversations that disrespect you, nor does he allow others to cross boundaries. He represents you with pride and integrity, making it clear that you hold an important place in his life. You're not a secret, not an option, and definitely not someone he allows to be undermined. In his actions, respect becomes even more visible. He honors your boundaries without making you feel guilty for having them. He doesn't pressure you, manipulate you, or try to mold you into someone you're not. Instead, he accepts you fully. Understand that your individuality is part of your value. He supports your growth, your goals, and your independence because he doesn't see you as something to control, but as someone to appreciate. And here's where it becomes powerful. Respect creates emotional safety. You feel comfortable being yourself around him without fear of judgment or criticism. You don't have to shrink, pretend, or hold back your thoughts. There's a sense of ease that comes from knowing you're valued, not just for what you bring, but for who you are at your core. A man who truly respects you also takes accountability. When he makes a mistake, he doesn't deflect or shift blame. He acknowledges it, learns from it, and works to do better because he understands that maintaining your trust matters. That level of accountability reinforces the respect he has for you, showing that he values the connection enough to protect it through his behavior and his choices every single time you interact with him. Protecting the relationship and your peace is one of the clearest signs that a man truly knows your worth. It goes beyond grand gestures or occasional romantic words. It's about the consistent effort to preserve the trust, harmony, and emotional safety you share. When a man values you, he understands that your connection is fragile in the wrong hands, and he treats it with the care and attention it deserves. He doesn't allow situations, people, or his own impulses to create unnecessary tension or doubt between you. You'll notice it in the choices he makes, both big and small. He avoids actions that could cause misunderstandings or hurt feelings. He thinks before he speaks, considering the impact his words or behavior could have on your peace of mind. He doesn't intentionally put himself in compromising situations that could threaten your trust. That kind of foresight is not about control. It's about respect and the recognition that your bond is worth safeguarding. Protecting the relationship also means being emotionally available when it matters most. He doesn't ignore problems, sweep issues under the rug, or leave you to deal with conflict alone. Instead, he addresses challenges with a calm, solution-focused approach. He understands that unresolved tension or neglect can slowly erode the foundation of what you have, so he takes proactive steps to maintain clarity and harmony. His efforts aren't performative. They are rooted in genuine concern for both your well-being and the health of the relationship. Another sign of protection is how he handles outside influences. He sets boundaries when needed, ensuring that other people, distractions, or temptations do not interfere with what you share. He doesn't allow gossip, opinions, or unnecessary interference to create doubt or instability. He acts as a partner who strengthens your sense of security rather than undermining it, making it clear that your peace and the integrity of your connection are priorities. And importantly, he protects your peace by nurturing an environment where you feel safe being yourself. You're free to express your emotions, share your thoughts, and show vulnerability without fear of judgment or criticism. He values honesty and openness, knowing that the relationship thrives when both partners feel secure and supported. He doesn't dismiss your feelings or make you question your worth. Instead, he validates, listens, and responds in ways that reinforce trust and safety. Ultimately, a man who protects the relationship and your peace acts in ways that prevent unnecessary conflict, safeguard trust, and nurture stability. He prioritizes the connection, consistently choosing actions that reinforce security, understanding, and mutual respect, ensuring that the bond you share remains strong, balanced, and harmonious.